Hello everyone, Raven of the Retro Dev here, and welcome back to another awesome BBS Door Games video. And we are going to be playing Falcon's Eye, another very awesome strategy game. There were two pauses there because I reset the game. Well, sort of reset it anyway. Wow, this game's been running for a while, apparently, quote unquote. And we're just going to join the game. And Falcon's Eye supports quite a lot of people. And there is like a help system which you could run through, but we're not going to do that. So yeah, there are a lot of different races that you can play as. So this is a strategy game very similar to Barren Realms Elite, but very different. I actually quite like this one. It has like a whole tech tree and all kinds of crazy stuff. And we're going to play as the humans, but if you were to pick barbarians, for example, it'll tell you, you get 85% productivity for druids and mages, which means you don't make as many, but you do get really good productivity for builders and armors. You get additional attack, you lose a spell book, you have -2 spells, but your special units are the Wildman and the Berserker, and they each have 7 swords, which is for attack, and 2 shields, which is for defense. And they're just, like I said, there are a whole bunch of different races. But we're going to play as the humans because they have no advantages whatsoever. But their paladins are actually pretty decent. 8 sword and 8 shield. They're just really good all-rounders. And yes, I am 100% certain. So what will be the name of the county? We will be the Error 200 county because that's what we've been going for. Yes. Okay, so we're ready to go. So now we have our turn, and we can do all of these options at any time that we choose. And we're going to start with labor. So we're just going to hit enter, and there's a great, every time you first play, it always explains what each thing does. And unemployed people are, again, terrible. So we don't want to do that. So I'm actually going to put down 10 farmers and 10 armors. And then let's see, I don't know how many people we have left. Well, we have 80. So let's do 10 builders. Alchemists are actually extremely important. Let's just do 10 of each. Scientists are also pretty important. Spoilage and everything else kind of goes away. And there we go. So druids, we don't really need very many druids. And anytime, like if you say, let's say you forget, you can hit the minus or subtract key. So farmers produce food, armors produce weapons, builders produce stone, which is nice. You don't really typically need that many. And once you have everything, you can massively reduce how many you have. Scientists, they develop better methods of doing things. In the long run, science is pretty good. Druids produce the runes, which is used for casting magic. And mages... mages produce the runes. Wait, alright. So, did I get that backwards? Builders, druids... Okay, they produce 1 rune per month. Oh, yeah, I did get it backwards. So mages are the ones who cast the spells. So the more mages you have, the more effective your spells are. And merchants do pretty much exactly what you think they do. They just make you a lot of money. And we don't have any mages, so we're definitely going to employ some mages right there. Okay, so now we're down. Everything's kind of equal. And what are we going to do? Honestly... We're not doing that. I'm going to put 10 in alchemists and 10 in merchants. Not really that bad for a first showing. Now, for defense, this is kind of our army. We don't really have a whole lot. What we're going to do is we're going to hire 20 paladins because they're way better than 100 peasants, trust me. And we're going to hit the period key, and we are going to get rid of 100 of the peasants, and we're gonna make 20 more paladin. Okay, totally did that backwards and ended up just wasting a bunch of weapons, but that's okay. We'll be fine. So for city improvements, there's a lot of different buildings, and so this is where you really need you really need your silver. So we started with some various things. The first thing I'm going to get is the farm. And this is because the farm leads to stuff like the granary, which is really nice, which prevents food spoilage, which is extremely nice because, every turn, some of your food spoils getting the granary can really help. And it takes 6 months to get the farm. And it always produces 50 bushels, and it makes your farmers just a little bit more better. And so, actually, I don't think it makes your farmers better, but it does give you a guarantee plus 50. I think it's the irrigation ditch that does that. So we're going to go ahead and build it. And we can go into the improvement council, and we don't really have any improvements. And you can hit the asterisk key, and you get all the different lists, how much land they take up. The farm really doesn't take up that much. I don't know where it is in this list. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, but you can just see, yeah, there it is. It takes 35, so it's not that much, and it just keeps going. The other thing you can do is hit the equal sign, and you get this beautiful, well-made ASCII chart. It's all nice and colored and everything, because technically it's ANSI. And yeah, so some things are locked out. This is registered, so all the registered stuff is available, but some of it's locked out because it's tied to purple. And, therefore your race has to have access to it. Like, I think the Minotaurs have access to the labyrinth. And so there is quite a lot of stuff. And you can also hit the subtract key and get to the descriptions, but we're not going to do that. Now we're going to spend all of our silver on land. Literally all of it. Land is extremely vital. It's very expensive. And the good news is the more free land you have, the more land costs. So when you start building everything, it really starts, getting really expensive, which is another reason why you need a lot of merchants and a lot of alchemists. And we're just going to quit, and then we go to the council room. And here you can see the state of the county, how much housing land you have. This is all the free acreage you have, your approval rating, silver, food, weapons, all that sort of stuff. And your military gets better over time. So one thing that I do actually quite like about this is every time you add more people, the quality goes down for a little bit until it goes back up to 100%. And that adds a little bit more depth. And you can see your research status right now. Our research does nothing. But if we had no research, well, this would deteriorate or can deteriorate. On top of that, you can also have racial negatives. And so there's not really a whole lot to say. People consume 12, and we're going to lose 3 bushels. But that's okay, because we actually have quite a bit in surplus. And we're now going to take our next turn. Your food production this month will be less than consumption. Fair enough. What? Yes. Awesome. And so we lost a bunch of bushels from the decay. We only got 9, and we currently owe 1,000 silver. We have 1,000 silver. And we also have the food. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the labor now. We have some spare silver, and we have 8 unemployed people. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put them in the farmers. But you see that their skill lowered, but the skill for all the others is going up. And so we'll quit. We'll go to defense. We'll just quit that. I just tend to stockpile the weapons until it's kind of, actually necessary. Now for the land, I'm not going to buy any land just quite yet because there's plenty of it. So if we go to the agriculture here, we're going to have a net gain of 1 bushel. Now we're still going to be losing some to spoilage, but spoilage is based on our overall amount of food stores. So we're not really going to count that. And we're just going to quit, and then we're going to take the turn. Yes, we're going to go to the next turn. And so our expenses went up, and we also had to pay our 25% of food and everything, which is always super nice. And we'll go to labor. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to cap the farmers at 20. Now, as I said, once you start getting the irrigation ditches and everything else and your technology up, it does get a lot easier. And so I'm just going to add a bunch of alchemists, because mainly what we want right now is money. We want a lot of money. And we'll go to the council room, check the agriculture. Yeah, we're doing pretty good now. And now we're just going to roll right through the turns. We're just going to be assigning everything we need. And let's get alchemists up to 30, and then let's get merchants up as well. We're also going to need more builders because, we'll be able to build the library next. But at this rate, by the time the farm is done, we're not going to be able to get anything like the town square and all that other stuff. So we're really going to have to start improving. But in order to do that, we need money. And we're going to take our turn. And we only gained 5 people. Now, the main reason for this is we don't have a lot of, spare land. And that definitely helps boost. And we are making enough silver now. So we're definitely going to do that. And we're going to go to city improvements. And we're just going to buy another 12 acres of land. Okay. I want to buy the 12 acres of land. Thank you. Take the turn. Yes, take the turn. Oh, no. I owe money. Oh, no. But as you notice, we got 9 people now. So that's pretty nice. And we're going to assign our merchant. And I think for the last bit here, we're going to get builders up to 20. It helps a lot. I mean, obviously, when they get to their, max efficiency, that's where you really start to see, the improvement there. And yeah, as you can see, land gets really expensive. And so to explain all the other options, obviously we have the state of the county, our approval ratings going up. That helps a lot too. The budget office, how much stuff's going to cost. We'll have 2,606 silver left over, which is fine. For agriculture, it's doing a little better. The Secretary of Labor, we can see how much we're making and producing. I don't, you can support a fairly large county with few farmers once you get the granary and all of the other farming upgrades. I tend to get those first, especially the granary, because I don't want stuff spoiling. I don't really care if the runes spoil, but the food is a whole different matter because you need it every turn. But, you could eventually you get so many druids, you stockpile more than enough. The scientists are kind of doing their thing. We don't have any improvements, but 1 turn left for the farm. And then we can go to the Mystic Squared. Nothing's really happening there. We can go to our research status. So our maintenance costs have lowered by 2%, but everything else is pretty much as is. And the Secretary of War, obviously, we're not going to invade ourselves. So that seems kind of, why would we do that? Okay, so for builders, we're just going to add 2. And for, I'm trying to think here. what I'll do is I'll rush for alchemists to 50 and then merchants. Because again, land and all is extremely valuable. And so now we can get 2 more paladins, which is always nice. Now, another thing we can do is, for commerce, you can go in here. And again, always help menus. Definitely read it the first time. We can visit the market. We can place goods on the market. But we don't have any other players. So if you like this and you'd like to join the BBS and all, please do. But also for the Mystic Circle, we can pick different spells that we wish to research. And the only spell that we currently have is Wizard's Eye, and it costs 50 runes. So I'm not gonna get that. I am, however, gonna go to City Improvements, and I'm gonna get the library. And it improves the. Yeah, see, we don't have enough for the irrigation ditch or the granary, but the library improves the scientists, and that is never a bad thing. Improving the scientists is literally never, ever, ever a bad thing. They're always good. So now if we go to our agriculture report, you can see we have a net gain of 54 bushels, which is pretty rad. And our budget's getting better, even though everything's getting, kind of more and more expensive. So we have 1 more month left. Oh, no, 2 more months left. Nice. So we'll just pay everything out. Go to the labor here. Alchemist, 7. I like to keep stuff kind of equal, except for armorers and builders. I think I eventually cap out around 100 or so for the builders. Armorers, I'll go way higher. And farmers, I just kind of go based on whatever it is I need. And also, usually on turn 8 is when I'll spend everything for my military unless otherwise needed. You never know. Sometimes you have friends who just appear out of nowhere and they invade you, and that is not very nice. Yeah, see, now we're getting 55. As long as you have a surplus, you're good. Okay, oh, good. 9 for the alchemist there. And we're just going to sip the defense. City improvements, we're just going to buy more land. It is expensive, but that's okay. And state of the county, the people really like me. Now, some buildings like the pub will lower certain things. So the pub will increase approval and various other things, but it'll make your military slightly weaker due to the fact that I guess that people get sloshed at night. So the quality rating will go down slightly. But there are other things that you can build to offset it, so it's not too big of a deal. And plus, if you have enough guys anyway, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. Yep, and now you can see maintenance costs have gotten cheaper. And we just quit that. And so, much like most BBS games, you know, you're supposed to sign in and play for a little bit, and then, you know, you leave when you're done. So, yeah, all these games are designed to be played within about 10 minutes. Sometimes 20 minutes, depending on what they are, especially if you're explaining them. So, that was Falcon's Eye, and if you guys like it and would like to play it, it's free on my BBS. Just sign up, create an account, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one. You guys have a good one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and if you subscribe, be sure to, you know, hit that bell so, you know, you actually do get updates. And if you would like to, you know, support the channel, we have a Patreon, and or just the TheRetroDev in general, and all of our future work that is about to roll out from the time of this video anyway. Hopefully in the future it'll be done. Go on ahead and check out our Patreon. We also have a store with a bunch of stuff in it. Feel free to grab something, and I will see you all in the next one. You guys have a good one.